Todd Anderson, the star of the show, getting ready to showcase his skills on the diamond. It's the Baltimore Orioles and the Detroit Tigers. And we'll be back with the first pitch right after this. Back here with my pal Singy. And today's starter, Todd Anderson. He's been one of the best starters of the AL this year, Singy.
Believe it, a Cy Young candidate in the American League, having a great season so far, but he knows he's got more work to do. I've heard his name floating out there as a candidate, but I think he's just going to focus on this one today and try to get a win for his team.
Ahmed Rosario leading things off and takes a strike. Anderson, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, he features a four-seam fastball, a changeup, a slurve, and he occasionally uses a curve. Right through there for a strike.
Cold night like tonight, last thing you want to do as a hitter is get jammed or even off the end. Trying to find that sweet spot on the bat. Tell you what, you're going to be trying to catch things out front, so off-speed pitches may be a good complement to that fastball.
And a base hit right there. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
I'd say a mistake pitch in an 0-2 count. Too good of a pitch to hit right there. You have to expand the zone. Keep that leadoff man off first base.
Luis Matos up now for the Tigers. And that's through there for a strike. It's 0-1. In the dirt, but kept close. Next offering in there for a strike. And
One
that
ball,
is strike two.
Two strike.
Next offering misses down and away.
Recognize that changeup right out of the hand. Just spit on it.
And he grounds one to the right side. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it to first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe.
That is good.
First and second, no outs. Walls will hit next. Went deep in the ball game last night. That's 99 at the knees. Anderson checks the runner. Rosario dives back in.
You know, Boog, if you're that base runner at second base, you want to be quiet out there. Not bouncing around, not distracting your teammate, the hitter. Make sure that he can clearly focus on that pitcher and that release point.
That one down the line, and it stays fair. Runner around third, on his way to the plate. He'll score, the Tigers have the lead. Throw cut off, down to the plate. In there safely. And they take a two-run lead.
You know, I was watching his rounds during batting practice today. So impressed with his ability to let the ball travel, go back up the middle and the other way. Sometimes when you step in the box during the game, you get a little anxious and you get away from that. But so far, I've seen him stay consistent with his pregame preparation.
Runner in scoring position, no outs. Nelson Velasquez up now for the Tigers.
Here's a hitter who's been strong in the clutch lately. Over the last 10 games, he's knocked in 10 runs.
And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
0-1. To third. Mayo finally gets the first out here on the grounder.
That is it. The left fielder, Wyatt Langford.
And next up for the Tigers, Wyatt Langford. Singy, you got to appreciate a guy who's this good defensively. I mean, watching him track balls in the outfield, it is beautiful. Just missed.
And I would say that most great defensive outfielders, it's kind of natural. There is some work that you can do to it to improve your game, but ultimately you either have it or you don't.
And there's a ball.
There's one guy that I can think about, Boog, who started as a third baseman, Alex Gordon, and then became an elite perennial gold glover out in left field for the Kansas City Royals. But he's a guy, when you watch him play, you would imagine that that's all he ever played in his life was the outfield.
Yeah, some guys just have instincts, right? I mean, that's the way it goes. We talk about Larry Walker, the Hall of Famer, and his instinct on the bases, despite the fact that he didn't play a ton of baseball as a kid. Remember Mark Kotsay was a real good defensive outfielder. Good instincts, not great speed. That's too low. And the count's full.
Yeah, and I figured you would get Kotsay into this because you had a free dinner at his house the other night.
That is true. Gets a piece and stays alive. One out and a runner at second. And ball four, two aboard.
Well, he took his chance at getting him to chase right there, but with first base open, walk not a bad thing. He set up a double play opportunity if he can induce a ground ball.
2 on, 1 out. Now here's the Detroit catcher, Drake Baldwin.
Not getting the results he's wanted at the plate recently. Only 2 hits over the last 5 games.
Swing and a ball popped up. 2 down.
He's given up a couple of runs, but the pitch count really not as high as you would think. Might be able to get through this one under 25 pitches.
And next to hit for Detroit, Carson Williams.
Taken high in the draft, he's had that top prospect label over him since he put on a professional uniform. But at some point, that starts to go away, and you've got to produce at the big league level.
And that's in for a strike. And it's 0-1.
Well, I know they've gotten out to an early lead, but you don't want to take these opportunities for granted. With 2 outs, still lock in with a quality at bat, drive in that run. You may not have another runner in scoring position the rest of this ball game.
Hard hit, right side. Tosses to first. They limit the damage here. But 2 runs for them, and they jump ahead. We move on to the second here at Comerica. It's the Tigers 2 and the Orioles nothing. Back here in Detroit, bottom of the second. Now it's the second baseman, Nick Gonzalez. Anderson back to work. And there's a strike. And strike 2. The next pitch misses. 1-2 the count. Curve in the dirt.
2 strikes.
This one popped up. Foul ground, first base side. Clifford makes the play. One up, one down.
That was a good hard fastball with some nice ride up in the zone right there. Hitter looked like he was on it, but I think that velocity at the end just beat him. Instead of a line drive or something hit deep, it's a pop up and an easy out for the defense.
Greg Doby stands in now, looks at that one inside. On the corner for a strike, and the count even at one. One out, base is empty. On the ground, right side, Williams. Tosses to first. Already two out here in the home half of inning number 2.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Ahmed.
So the batting order turns over, and now it's Ahmed Rosario. He led off the bottom of the first with a single and then came in to score. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. Volpe throws to first in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing doing for the offense that time. We played 2 full. It's the Tigers 2 and the Orioles nothing. Back here at the ballpark, let's check out the latest news from around the league. Pitch misses there, and that's ball 1. Matos batting second in today's lineup, and he was born in Venezuela. That's a strike.
It's a tough pitch, but in terms of the best pitch you're going to get to hit in the at-bat, that fastball was down enough where you're going to catch up to one. That's the one. When he elevates, hitters aren't touching it.
Kicks and fires. There's a strike. Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2. Goes down swinging for the strikeout. Pulled the string on the changeup.
He just ran out of patience there. He took a couple of pitches to even that count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes, but that time chased outside the zone.
And now the first baseman, Aaron Walls, doubled his first time. And that one a little below the knees. And that is ball 1. Next offering is fouled back. Fouls it off, still 1-2. One down, base is empty. Just missed.
That's a good pitch there. Really had some run and finished a little up and in just on the edge. And that's one of those, if you swing at it, you had a broken bat as you jog back to the dugout.
Strike three, and that's 2 in a row.
Well, that high four-seam fastball has become such a great pitch for pitchers to finish hitters off. They're trying to stay back with 2 strikes, make sure that they can handle something off speed, and just with good spin rate, good rotation through the zone, elevate it a little bit, get a lot of swings and misses, and that's a really nice job right there.
On the ground, Clifford. He steps on the bag. 3 up, 3 down, inning over. Nothing across here this half. On to inning number 4. It's the Tigers 2 and the Orioles 1. Let's check out some notable MVP candidates so far this season. Foul ball there.
Ball 1.
Well, these Tigers showing great discipline at the plate, and patience definitely seems to be the name of their game in this one. They're doing a good job of working the pitch count, and they've been able to push a couple of runs across the score as well.
Yeah.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did.
Still relatively early, but with the pair of runs already on the board, the ripple effect of that high pitch count might set them up to do more damage later in this game.
In the dirt, and that's ball 2.
2-2 down.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. And Chris, that's a way to neutralize his speed by keeping him off base.
And the defense breathes a sigh of relief because he puts pressure on everyone if he can put the ball in play. But that's how you do it. Keep him off balance, get him out of there, and deal with the next guy.
Now here is Drake Baldwin. 0 for 1 so far. Swing and a miss. 0 and 1.
0 and 1.
Just missed.
Ball 1.
The 1-1 is fouled off. And a ball evens the count. Base is empty, 1 away. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. And it skips in the dirt. This one lifted in the air, left field. 2 away.
Up next for the Tigers, the shortstop, Carson.
2 outs, base is empty. And up next for Detroit, Carson Williams. Rolled out to second in his first at bat. You talk about elite defensive players, especially in the middle of the diamond, and this guy is at the top of the list. And you played behind guys, and they loved having your speed out there defensively. One of the things that we talk about is how much pitchers enjoy having those elite defenders behind them. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Boog, and the one thing about that is speed never goes in a slump, and defense shouldn't either. Hitting wise, you can struggle, you can lose your mechanics, but the thing that you can do consistently every single game is play great defense if you're talented in that way, and this is what this guy does.
He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. Down in order go the Tigers, but they still lead it 2-1. Welcome back. Quite a pitcher's duel so far. Here's how the starters have performed up to this point. Anderson back to work. A little bit low.
On the mound, he had a little trouble back in the first, but it's been a different story the rest of the way. Really settled into this outing nicely.
So 2 balls and no strikes. And that drops in for a strike.
He's been able to go inside as well as outside, effectively working both sides of the plate in this at bat.
Next offering is fouled back. Swings and misses, struck him out. Chris, as we look back at the pitch sequence, he hadn't seen that curveball at all. How tough is it to adjust to something like that with a bunch of break when you haven't had a look at it yet?
Yeah, I mean, you're dialed up for something firm. You never want to take a called third strike as a fastball, so you're going to be a little anxious before you recognize the pitch. And right there, clearly didn't see what was coming.
Here's the third baseman, Greg Doby. Started to go after it. Now a look down to first. No swing. He held up. Darryl Parker with the call there.
Well, a swing like that can help you come out of this struggle. We saw the numbers coming into the ball game, but all he's trying to do at this point is help his team win.
Next is the designated hitter, Ahmed Rosario. Singled and scored back in the first. He's 1 for 2. Just missed.
That ball went out.
That misses.
Ball 2.
Last 2 pitches have been down in the zone. Pitcher clearly trying to get that ground ball double play. But in this count, he's going to have to give in, elevate his pitches, and get back into this at bat.
And that drops in for a strike.
In today's game, not that many fastball counts, but hitters still in the back of their minds, they're looking for one. 2-0 changeup call right there. Excellent pitch selection to go with.
Pitch misses. Full count now.
Good spot there, but didn't get the strike at the knees and doesn't seem too convinced by the call out there on the mound as he tries to get a better sense of the umpire strike zone.
Got him looking. He picks up his 5th strikeout on the hill. Luis Matos up now for the Tigers. 1 for 2. Hot shot to first base, and he snags it to end the inning. Tigers leave 1. They lead it 2-1. Back at Comerica Park. Well, we go bottom 6. And here's the first baseman, Aaron Walls.
Well, you got to give him credit out there on the mound. This outing started off a little shaky, but he's found a way to settle in and turn this into a pretty good start. Kind of shows you a lot about his mental makeup as a pitcher.
Walls, in his 4th year, 23 years old. And he's won a Silver Slugger in the American League. A changeup missing, and that's ball one. Strike one.
Just not able to catch up to that
One ball,
velocity.
one strike.
That one to first. Clifford. He takes it on his own. One up, one down.
Now batting, the right fielder, Nelson Velasquez.
And next will be the Tiger cleanup hitter, Nelson Velasquez. He's grounded out a couple of times. That one finds the zone. 0-1.
Boog, that hook's looking pretty sharp today. Just a solid pitching performance so far, and I really think it's because of that curveball.
Next offering is down low. And now it's even 1-1. Swings and misses at the pitch off the plate. Base is empty, one away here in the bottom of the sixth. Down to the dirt, swing and a miss. Casilla collects, fires to first, out on the drop, third strike, two gone.
Well, I don't think there's a hitter alive that hasn't at some point succumbed to that pitch right there. It just looks like it's in the zone the entire way, and then the top spin and gravity take over in the blink of an eye, and it's just such a tough pitch to lay off of.
Two down, base is empty. And next up for the Tigers, Wyatt Langford. A strikeout and a walk. Inside. And it's 1-0. Two outs, base is empty. Next offering is fouled back. Two down, nobody on. Off the mark there. And it's 2-1.
So critical to keep an eye on the pitch count this time of the year. Guys can start to run on fumes a little bit. Mechanics can drop off. And we know they need him to be fresh and ready for big innings in October.
And it's through for a hit. And that keeps the inning alive.
Well, they call that an advantage count for a reason. You're so much more likely to get something you can handle. I really like that swing, man. He didn't just push it the other way through the infield. He drove it that way, and it kind of makes me think he was thinking opposite field as he stepped into the box. Got a pitch he liked, and he got it done. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
Baldwin stands in now and watches strike one.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins. In this situation, you have no idea what the next pitch is going to be. You just got to hope that you can make contact.
Two outs. Ball one there.
Two strikes.
Pitch is in the dirt, and the count is 2-2. Langford off of first with two away. That's a base hit. Rudder puts on the brakes at second, so it's first and second with two out.
Right there, does a great job of staying in the big part of the field. Man, there are a lot of hits there.
Here comes the manager out of the dugout, and he'll make a move for the bullpen. Todd Anderson gives way, and the line not closed on him yet as he's responsible for the runners on base. Back with a new pitcher after this.
Now pitching for
New pitcher on here, Drew Rasmussen.
And he's done a great job keeping the ball in the park this year. The numbers stack up with some of the best in the game.
Anderson made it into the 6th, but this was an up-and-down performance.
Oh, Boog, he did a lot of good things in this start. He ate some innings and kept him in a position and challenge for the win. Maybe next time they'll get him the W.